Good morning, everybody. We're going to be playing with um, both the hips, well, a lot of things, of course, as always. Um, but we're going to be playing with the strap and um, the relation of the ribs, the breathing, the hips, the movement, kind of all that stuff. It's weird, it's hard to explain, but you'll figure it out. So start with your strap in a loop. Throw the loop over your body. And if you felt your ribs, right, they actually go all the way down to here. There's 12 sets of ribs. And I want your strap to come around the lower part of the ribs, not all the way down here. These last two ribs are our floating ribs and they don't have anything to hook onto. So above the very bottom, but below the chest, the breasts, all that stuff. Can you say that on record? So tighten it up enough that when you take a deep breath, you feel the strap, but not so tight that you can't take a deep breath. And then be really mindful of where your buckle is, so that the buckle isn't sitting on your ribs, because that can be really tender. And then, believe it or not, we're going to come down to the floor, because we're going to start with some core work. But I want this feedback as we take deep breaths in, as we exhale, as we do core work, as we do yoga postures, what it is that we're doing with this place in the body. Okay, so there you have it. Come on down to, let me move this out of the way. Come on down to your backs. And just get a little bit settled on your mat. No, get a lot settled on your mat. We're going to be here for a little bit. And just kind of get a sense of where your body is. Shoulders are nice and wide. And they gently press down to the floor, but don't overdo it. Notice your strap. If you have to readjust it, then go ahead and readjust it, maybe tighter, maybe looser. You should be able to get a couple fingers under that strap easily. Like, it shouldn't be so tight that you can't squeeze your finger under there. And then let your hands rest on the lower belly. Your feet are on the floor, your knees, you're welcome to bring your knees into center if you'd like. That can be nice. And just get a sense of your body, right? Where is your head? Do you tend to lift the chin? Are the shoulders moving up toward the ceiling? And what does it feel like to draw the shoulders a little bit closer to the floor without force, right? Just as if somebody were gently pressing a hand on either shoulder, just to soften them down to the floor. And sometimes, right, that shoulder thing, by the way, can come from the scapulas, from the shoulder blades. So if we can draw the shoulder blades down, then a lot of times the shoulders will relax down to the floor a little bit more. And then maybe lift all your toes, spread all your toes, just get them nice and wide, and then put the big toes down to the floor, and then spread the other toes out from the big toe. So make your toes as wide as possible, and then place those toes back on the floor. And as you breathe, your inhale, right? The belly should move up toward the ceiling. And then you should feel that strap pressing against the ribs, that diaphragm area, all the way into the chest. And then a soft exhale. And then when you get to the bottom of the exhale, I want you to pull the belly in and up. Good. And then just a nice, easy inhale. Exhaling it. Pull the belly in and up. A lot of times we don't exhale all the way, right? So inhale, deep breath. Exhale it. Pull the belly in and up. And then notice, right, as you continue to inhale and exhale, you might feel just a soft arch of the back on the inhale and a flattening of the back on the exhale. And then see if that flattening and that arching can move in toward that strap where the ribs are. So as you exhale, press the strap into the floor. As you inhale, it lightens up. Feel the sides of the ribs expand. Exhaling, pressing into the strap. Inhaling, little arch. And exhaling it out. Good. One more right here. Just inhaling. Big belly, diaphragm, lungs, ribs. Exhale it down. And then come to a neutral spine. And it goes without saying, if there is any reason why this strap should not be here, right? If you're working with an injury or something that I don't know about, or if it just feels awful, take it off. You don't have to have it there. It's really just that feedback, right? That tactic feedback that go, oh, there it is. There's my ribs. There's what's happening. Okay. And then from here, just some pelvic tilts and tucks. And as you tuck, right, that strap presses to the floor. As you tilt, you might notice the ribs, those low ribs, press up to the ceiling. That's pretty normal, no big deal. Just notice it. Exhale. Good. Few more right here. Just lifting and tucking and tilting and tucking. When you tilt, that is an anterior pelvic tilt. As you exhale, it's a posterior pelvic tilt, or I like to call it a tuck, right? So we just know. So if you are listening to another yoga teacher or taking another class and they say anterior versus posterior, that makes sense to you, right? And then once again, come to a neutral pelvis, which means the pelvis is just nice and flat and even, tiny space behind your lower back. No hands. I want you to bring your right knee to your chest and push it out. No hands. So you're not using those hands to move the leg. Just bring it in and out. Good. Couple more right here and out. Good. Last one. Bring it in. Press it out. Foot comes back to the floor. Switch sides. Easy, easy to start. Just bringing it in, pressing it out. Not only are we lubricating the hips, we're lubricating the knees. Breathe, bringing it in, pushing it out. Good. Last one here and out. Both feet to the floor, both knees toward chest. So once again, notice when the knees come in close to the chest, the back flattens. I can feel that strap. So press that strap down to the floor. Keep that strap there. See if you can bring the knees to about 90 degrees. So now we're working core, right? No kidding already. As you press the ribs down, right? As you press those ribs down and you feel that strap maybe along your backside, you can feel your core working. Both hands go to both knees and then both arms straighten most of the way. So when the knees are close to the chest, our belly softens as the knees move away, the belly tones, press the ribs down. You might just stay right here, right? Because the work to press down where that strap is a lot of work. Otherwise, you're going to keep those arms relatively straight. Leave your left hand on your left knee. Don't let your left knee come up toward your chest. Straighten your right arm overhead and your right leg straight. And then bring it in. 4 more on this side. Ooh, good. And notice the tendency, 2 things. 1, to lift the ribs. 2, to bring the left knee into chest. So I got to push that hand into my knee a little bit more. Last one here. Breathe and hold. Whew. If you need a little bit of break, bring the knees to the chest. That'll soften that back body, soften the belly, and then push the knees away, but then push the knees back into your hands. All right. Right side stays where it is. Push into the back of your strap. Here we go. Left side for 5. Overhead and back. 2. Woo, yeah. And 3. Keep pressing the strap down to the floor. 4. And one more. 5. Woo, good job, everybody. Soften it up. Bring your knees to your chest. Come back to 90 degrees. Take both legs up toward the ceiling. So your left hand is going to stay on your left knee. If this is too much, hamstrings are too much, bend the knees again, okay? Because it's early in class. So your left hand is going to keep that leg in place. The right leg, right arm are going down and overhead. Push back to the strap. Tone the lower belly. Here we go for 5. 1, 2. You want something different? Point the toes. 3, 4. Keep pushing the left leg away. 5. Let's do 5 more because this is just way too fun. 5. Here we go. 4. You don't have to go so low. 3. Woo, yeah. 2. And 1. Oh, yeah. Bring those knees to your chest. I love core work. Love it, love it, love it. Here we go. Legs are at 90. You decide to keep them there or straighten both legs. Your right hand stays against the leg and you are resisting, right? So I'm pushing my leg into my hand and vice versa, but shoulder down. All right, other side. Here we go. Lower. Squeeze it up and lower. I told you I did warn you core work. That's 2. 3, try not to use momentum, right? Don't just swing your leg. Don't just swing your arm. Come on. We got 5 left. Squeeze. And 2 or 4 and 3. Yep. And 2. Come on. 1 more. And 1. Good job. Squeeze it in. Maybe roll those hips around a little bit. Find your breath. Come back to 90 degrees, the hands to the knees. I want you to push and resist. The other thing is notice how easy it is for the back to arch. Push the back into the floor. Push the legs into the hands into the legs. Now really press the low belly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Release the hands, grab the sides of your mat. Pull your mat away from you. So you notice when you do that, it kind of helps you flatten your back a little bit. Your knees are still at 90. Here we go. Little bicycles, slow. Don't let the knees come in too close. Imagine the hand is there to keep it from drawn up toward your chest. Good. Breathe, everybody. Push it out. Push. Keep pushing away on your mat too. Keep pulling that mat apart so that your low back stays nice and level. And breathe. Feel your belly. Woo-hoo. Oh, happy day. Here we go. Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Draw your knees to your chest. We're almost done here. Core work is really important. And you know, we can avoid it and avoid it and avoid it, but not here. We're going to do our core work. We're going to keep our core strong so that we can move through life a whole lot easier, I hope. All right, both legs up, both arms up, pull the shoulders down, pull the strap down, breathe. This is that opposite limb thing we've done in class before. It's been a little while, but really important to pull the strap down toward the floor. If you feel your ribs popping up, then you're lowering too much. If your hamstrings are super tight, bend your knees, okay? All right, here we go. So right leg, left arm. Easiest way to do this is to keep focused on the limbs that are still up at the ceiling. Okay, so think less about what's lowering and more about what's left up there. Here we go. Lift up, switch sides, and up, lower, and up, left leg, right arm, up, right leg, left arm, and up. Here we go. Again, don't worry. Everything ends up in the middle. Here we go. I could say that about what I eat too, right? Breathe. Almost there. That's it. Good. Next time, the right leg is down and the left arm is overhead. Breathe. Now, really press your back into the floor. If this is super hard, I want you to just lower that right leg, okay? So breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift it up. Switch sides. Last one, last side. Woo! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift everything up. Bring everything back to the middle. Bend your knees. Holy moly. Glad we got that out of the way. Roll your knees to one side and come on up, everybody. Whew. See, I'm not a procrastinator. Like, gotta get it done. All right, sit any way that you want to for you, up on a blanket, up on blocks, like straight, right? Don't sit in pain with these knees and things. And then just roll your shoulders back. Roll them back, squeeze them back, and let them come down. Do it again. Take it up and squeeze them back and down. I'm going to mirror here. So take your left hand out to the side. Press your right hip down. And when you press the right hip down, notice how that lengthens that side. And then take the right arm up, come on over to a nice big stretch. And then notice again, what do you tend to do here, right? What's happening with the lower back? What's happening with the ribs? I'm kind of rolling forward and back, almost like a weird side cat and cow, right? Because we tend to sit back in the low back, but I really want a neutral back. So I'm going to reach through the belly, tone in, feel the strap around the ribs, and then come on up. Exhale the other side. First the hand down, right? Then the hip down, then the arm up and over. And again, maybe just feel, do I tend to kind of roll back and curl into my chest? Can I keep the chest lifted, softening that opposite shoulder? Find your breath. And then come on up, both arms up. Exhale, cactus, arms down to your ribs. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze in. Inhale, up. Exhale, squeeze in. Last one, inhale. Exhale, squeeze it in. And then just let your hands come down to your lap. And I want you to see if you can feel this strap. You can even hold the end of it and just kind of move your ribs around that strap. I just want you to get a sense, and you can change directions, right? What happens if I pull forward? What happens if I pull back, right? One side, the other side. What does that feel like in your body? Good. And then do me a favor, if it's still comfortable, we're staying with this for a good part of the class. Just take your strap around you. Mostly, I just want the tail of that baby out of the way. So you can wrap it around yourself a couple of times and then loop it around your strap, just to get that tail end out of the way so it doesn't whack you or me in the face. And then come to table pose. If you have to tighten the strap, tighten it. If you have to adjust it up or down, do that, right? And then table pose, make sure you're not hurting your knees. If you have your blanket, go ahead and grab your blanket. And then the same thing, I want you to come into cat and feel the strap around your ribs, and then move into cow, move into cow, and feel that, right? So tuck in and release, and tuck in and release. And then once again, see if you can circle those ribs and feel the strap as it goes with you, right? I feel it on my sides mostly. I feel it on my back mostly. Switch directions, everybody. Find your breath. And then come right back to table pose. Left hand center of your mat. Take the right arm up. We're not going to do eye of a needle, but what I want you to do is just slide that hand under, look to the left, and then reach it back up to the right. And look, bring it up. Good. Just one more here. Use your breath. Release that hand down to the floor. Switch sides. Up to the left. Bring that arm down and under. Just look that way. Take it up and circle and up. Last one. And circle, or not really circle, but release. Hands come back to the floor. Walk the hands way forward, puppy stretch. And again, as you move down into this puppy stretch, you may feel those ribs expand, right? As the front ribs draw down to the floor. Take a deep breath here. Exhale it out. And then walk your hands to the right corner of your mat. The head can release to the floor if that feels okay. Take a deep breath here. And exhale it out. Good. Walk hands center and then all the way to the left. Big deep breath. And exhale. Good. Hands back to center. Spread those fingers. Open up the shoulders. Hold on to the beach ball, that imaginary beach ball between your elbows. Lift the knees off the floor. See if you can come to plank. Good. Deep breath here. Exhale it out. Inhale, deep breath. Exhale. One more. And exhale. Lower your knees to the floor. Step forward with your right foot. Here might be a great spot for you to grab your blocks. Good. And again, take a moment to adjust the strap if it feels like it's slipping or it needs to be tightened. I like mine pretty tight because I like that feedback and I don't have anything that would hold me from tightening that, but certainly not so tight that you can't that you can't breathe. That wouldn't make any sense at all. All right, so come into your first lunge, everybody. Watch that back knee. Please use your blanket to cushion it if you need to. And then notice again, right? As we draw forward, in fact, take the blocks up to their highest level. And then as you drop the ribs forward, you can feel that pressure along the front ribs. What I want you to do is pull the ribs in, right? So pull them in, then take your hands to your knee and lift the torso. So once again, just get that sense, right? The ribs reach out, the ribs pull in. But this time, I really want you to just play with the pulling them in, not so that you cave forward, but that you feel more neutral. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you. Hold that position and then take the arms up and breathe. That's it. Now, if you can somewhat keep that position of the ribs, you can arch some, especially when you take your arms up overhead, the ribs will move forward as they should, right? That's just physical, mechanical. But see if you can draw them in a little bit and then take the lunge in deeper. Big deep breath, everybody. Hands come back to your blocks. Just press the hips back and switch sides. It's kind of interesting, and depending on your habit patterns and your physical body, right? Where we go with the ribs can be really different. Some of you may find that you don't have enough forward movement of the ribs, which again, I find really interesting. And if your ribs are always tucked back, what happens here? Right? Kind of get that sense of is it in space for you? And our diaphragms sit right underneath here. So if we're stuck, what's happening with the diaphragm? Okay, so just some food for thought there. So start in a nice easy lunge. Watch the back knee, everyone. Your hands are to your blocks. Draw the ribs, the low ribs in. Then take your hands to the knee, then lift. And notice, right? So here I am. I can draw the ribs in, can take the arms up, less in the lower back, right? More a neutral spine. And then I might see if I can dip in a little bit. Whoo. Yeah, I know, right? Good. Release those hands to your blocks. Switch sides just one more time. We're going to come off knee now. That's going to be an option for you. I would lower your blocks one level. Not a huge fan of the blocks up on the highest level when we're moving too much. So come into your lunge and see if you can lift the knee. Hold on to that, draw the shoulders back, and then round your back, feel that, and then lift the chest and come to a neutral space, especially with regard to those low ribs. Hands come to knee, draw the lower ribs in. You can feel them under your strap and then lift up and go, oh yeah, right? So now I'm not overarching in my back. I'm actually lengthening the front end of the body, the front of the body. Take the arms up. Find your breath. Lunge in and of itself can be a very strong pose, right? Whether your knee is up or down, what's happening to your hips? Can you draw the right hip back? Breathe, take your hands to your heart. Take the left hand to your knee, your right hand to your sacrum. Take a glance over to the right. Open up the shoulders. Stretch. Good. Release, arms up. Hands down to your blocks. If you feel stable, step back to a high plank and then step forward with your left leg. Trickiest part of a lunge is one, if you go too long or too short, and two, that your legs are wide enough side to side on your mat to feel stable. So here you are. Feel that movement of the ribs there. Draw them in, hands to knee, lift up. Whew. How are you on your back foot? Take care of those feet. Feel this nice, strong lunge. Take the arms up. That's it. What's happening with your back leg? Try pushing off your front leg just a little and see how that changes the back leg. Do you need to bend the back knee more to get the torso upright? You might, especially if that psoas muscle is tight, right? Breathe, hands to heart. Right hand to knee, left hand to sacrum. Open up your chest. Twisting to the left. Good. Take the arms forward. Exhale down to your blocks. Step back to plank. Step back to plank. Squeeze the legs. 5. Squeeze the belly. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your knees. Take the blocks out of the way. Downward facing dog. Feel that strap, right? Take the feet a little bit wider on your yoga mat. Open up the shoulders, everybody. Take a deep breath. Feel the strap. Exhale. Belly in and up. Good. One more. Exhale. And then walk your hands all the way back to your feet. Bend your knees, press those knees out to those imaginary walls, And come on up, everyone. And feel that, right? Hopefully, it feels good. Good, right? Hopefully, it does not feel bad. How about that? Because it's so much feedback. And this will hopefully, this kind of trains us to take a deeper breath because we're really taking that deep breath against resistance and then letting it go. Again, don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. No pain, no pain, no pain. That should go without saying. All right, so come back to the front of your mat. Have a block on either side of the front of your mat. And I want you to take your left foot forward and your right foot back into a warrior position. In fact, take both blocks up to high level. Sorry about that. Good. And then find the tail of your strap and undo it. And breathe. Now, it's kind of an interesting thing with this strap. When we're in warrior, there's all kinds of things that happen to our bodies. And I want you to just start by feeling your feet on your mat. You are lined up either heel to heel or heel to arch. Okay, you can try both, see which one feels better. Heel to heel, a little bit more balancing. And then take the buckle of your strap to the left side ribs, to the ones that are facing that front knee, and give it a little pull. Now, I'm thinking of one of my dear friends who I know is watching right now. And in her warrior, she does this. So she's leaning forward over this thigh, right? We don't really want to do that. We want the torso centered over the mat. So give your strap a little bit of a pull, then resist it by pulling the right side ribs back to the back. Okay, so a little bit of resistance here. And then straighten the front arm, straighten the back arm, look over. But keep pulling your back side ribs, these opposite side ribs, into your strap. And breathe. And then take your back hand down the thigh, pull the strap up. Watch the buckle, don't let it hurt. Breathe, and then hold. Good, just straighten the front leg for a moment. I want you to take that buckle to the back side ribs. I'm not mirroring here, obviously, right? So I'm sorry if I'm being confusing here. So now I have the strap in my right hand, to my right side. I want to do the same thing. So bend the front knee, spread out your front toes, pull on that strap, pull back on the strap, feel how it draws those ribs in, extend the arm out, extend the other arm out, find your breath, lean forward, take the elbow to your knee, and then pull up on the strap. And notice you cannot collapse here because the strap's giving you feedback, right? So you're not here dropping those ribs toward your thigh, you're reaching them away. And then notice if those babies are poking out and draw them in. And breathe. If that's too low, hand comes here, right? And we're just getting feedback. Where are my ribs in space? Good. Come on up. Woo, release the arm. Take that strap back to the middle. If you need a break from the strap, just drop it down to your waist. Oh, take a deep breath. And then shimmy it back up into those kind of mid-low ribs. All right, go to the other side. So you're going to take, again, not mirroring here, so you can keep it straight, your right foot forward, or just do the same side as me and ignore the left, right. Find your pose, front heel to back heel or back arch. Here we are. How do we bring the ribs in? Want you to roll your buckle end to the front and give it a pull, right? And then imagine this pose versus this pose. Warrior two stance, right? Triangle. You want the torso over the center of your body, right? Other arm comes out, resist the ribs, and then straighten the arms. Take a deep breath. Feel the ribs, right? Am I spilling my pelvis? Can I keep the ribs towards center? Good. Release the arms. Slide the buckle around. Oh, I forgot something. Bring it back forward. Sorry. Drop the back arm. Take the top arm up. I almost forgot. Breathe. Exalted warrior. Good. Now come on out. Slide that buckle around the back side. Pull. This one is easier because when you pull those ribs in, you get that real sense of lining that torso up to the center of your, basically, right, the center of your groin. So pull, extend, reach, keep pulling. Breathe, hand or elbow to your thigh. Take that top arm up. Notice how it's keeping the ribs up away from your thigh. Really press into your back leg. Feel the glutes nice and active. Breathe. And come on up. Whew. Relax. Release the strap. Find your breath. Roll your shoulders. Ah, good. Let's heel toe in just to give the legs a little bit of rest. Make sure you don't trip on the tail end of your strap. Good. And then if you have lowered the strap to give yourself a little bit of a break from that tension, bring it back up. You're coming back, left foot to the front of your mat. Your left side block, I'm going to move this one out of the way, is to the outside of your ankle. So how does this change when we're doing triangle pose? I want you to take your buckle to the back side. So if my left leg is forward, the buckle is to the right. And then you're going to hang on to that with your right hand. So here's the challenge for me in triangle pose. When we're doing triangle, the tendency is to collapse. And I don't want us to collapse. I want us to stay really lifted. So we're going to start with the buckle on the outside. I don't want you to go far. So take your front hand to your front thigh and just lower down, maybe just above your knee. Keep a soft bend in your knee. Roll the shoulders back and then pull the strap. And notice, right? Pull the ribs in. So we're not poking the ribs in, the front ribs into the strap. I want to move them away from the front of the strap. And then lower the hand, open up the shoulders, extend the arms. See if you can pull the ribs in. You're not rounding back. You are avoiding that front tilt, if that makes sense to you. You're just drawing the ribs in. And then you can reach up with those ribs, lengthen through the hip. Your hand can come to your block or it can stay on your leg. Breathe. Good. Come on up. Roll the strap to the other side, the buckle. So now this strap is on your left side. And here's what I want you to do different. You're going to hold on to that buckle. Your other hand is going to stay on your hip. But instead of going down to the floor, because you can see the issue there, right? I want you to go out. So I want you to pull out, pull out, pull out, pull out. Breathe, squeeze those legs. Take the top arm up if you want. That might be too much. If you need to come down, try to resist overdoing that pull up here, because then you're going to just see, you're going to C curve. Okay, so either way, length and come on up. And release. Whoo, shake it out, everybody. Breathe. And then let's just go to the other side for triangle. And I'm hoping this is making sense for you. Um, because it's all here, right? And in triangle pose, right? And so in warrior, we really want this torso upright as we go. In triangle, what we're trying to avoid is this collapsing down. Okay. So if we over pull here, we're gonna just make that deeper, I think. So just be mindful where we go. Your right foot forward, the buckle is to the back. You're gonna pull on that strap. What's happening to the front ribs? Pull them back. Start to reach forward, slide the hand down, pause, and then feel the crease of the hip deepen as you reach the ribs away, as you start to come down, as you take the arm up. And breathe. That's it, right? Your hand can also come to your block here. Find your breath, and then come on up. Slide the block, the buckle to the inside rib. Grab your strap, pull it out. It's like that simple. You could stay here. I should have said that on the other side. You don't have to extend the arm out, which can be a lot more core. But here's the trick, at least in my body. If I'm not paying attention, I'll spill that pelvis forward. I'll reach the ribs forward, right? I'll forget about the integrity of the back. So, and then I'll collapse. So if I'm extending out, whoo, I'm really pulling hard on this strap, by the way. Breathe for stability and come on up. Oh, good. Shimmy that strap down. Turn your toes so they're all pointing the same way. And then hinge at your hips and come on down to a nice, easy forward fold. The strap should not be around the ribs now. I want you to just take some easy, deep breaths. That's it. Maybe you notice that you can take a deeper breath. Good. Bend the knees and come on up, everybody. All right, so you're going to loosen your strap and bring it down to your cute little hips, not your waist, your hips, okay? And you're once again going to tighten that baby. I like my sound effects, right? So that it's pretty darn tight. Don't be surprised if the strap loosens. So from the back side, this strap is on my sacrum. It's not up in my low back. It's not down here on my thighs, obviously. It's around my hips. Now, for my lovelies out there with SI joints instability, sometimes this can be just like a panacea. It's so wonderful. If I feel like my low back is feeling a little unstable, I'll usually take a strap and just tighten it around my hips. Excuse me. And it makes a really nice difference. So I want you to come again to this left foot forward, your back foot either sideways or turn slightly in, warrior two. Why does that make a difference? Right? If the hips are stable, it informs the pose. So remember, right? We don't want to reach forward. We want that to come back. We want to feel almost equal tension on both ends of this strap. You don't have to pull forward. You don't have to pull back. Just want you to feel that stability and how it's all connected, and then take the arms out and breathe. And if you want to play just a little bit more, take the tail end of your strap. You're going to bring it forward around your back and then around your ribs. Okay. So it's just do a little spiral around your body, and then you're pulling again. so that you get this feedback. I don't want these ribs poking way out. I'm going to pull them in. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to reach back into the strap. My hips are stable. I feel marvelous. I could stay here all day. Breathe. If you want, take that elbow down to your knee. Reach the ribs into your strap, extended side angle. That's it. Lift up, straighten the leg, bring that strap down, tone it all in, triangle pose, all tied up here. And breathe. Keep hold of that strap, lift up and release. Turn your toes, turn your toes. Here we are, we're in the same exact spot, other side. Bend your front knee. And just feel. I don't know. We only know what we feel in our own bodies, but what I know in my body is that the strap feels so marvelous in this pose. It just feels like, oh yeah, like nice and stable. So here we are in triangle or in warrior pose. You can take the strap out. It really doesn't go forward. Depends on which direction your buckle is, I think. You can take the arms out. Whew, can feel it. I noticed that I was starting to lean forward a little bit. So I'm going to pull the ribs in, pull the strap a little bit more to help keep those hips right over the center line. And breathe. And then again, if you want more, you're going to take the strap around your belly, around your ribs, pull it back, and you can get that sense of, or am I poking out here? Can I pull them back? You can straighten the front leg. Breathe. You can take the hand down. You can find that lovely little triangle pose. You can breathe, right? You can breathe. Maybe you look up at the hand, maybe not. Come on up, everybody. Whoo. Release. Release. Step the legs together. Keep the strap. Both of your blocks, watch that you don't trip. Both blocks to the front of your mat. Strap is still there around your sacrum, around those nice low hips. Hands come to blocks. Just step back a little bit and stretch out the front body. Deep breath, everyone. And if your hands are on your blocks, just bend the elbows toward your knees. Keep your hands on the blocks and just tip the blocks toward you a little bit. Good. Press the blocks back to the floor. Walk your feet up a little bit. Again, just watch that tail end or wrap it around the hips a bunch, so that that you don't get in the way. You're going to take your hands to your blocks. You're going to step the legs back so that your ankle bones and your hip bones line up. My hands are on my blocks. The wrists are right under the shoulders. I'm going to tone the belly in and tone the ribs in. And then I'm going to bend the knees just a little bit, just a little. Okay. Once I do that, lift your right heel and just slide the toes back. So when we work with leg strength, right, with balance work, here's where you start, right? Big toe on the floor takes a lot of strength. And then get a sense of the strap if you can, and feel that it's even, relatively even on the hips. And then lift the right leg up. Keep the softness to the left leg so you don't fry that quadricep, that thigh muscle too much. Point your toes. Squeeze your belly. Find your breath. If you feel super stable, release the left arm back, palm face up. So you have right leg and left arm. Both of them heading back. Big deep breath. Hand comes to your block. Release the leg down and stand up. Deep breath. Exhale, squeeze it in. I'm hoping you're feeling this really sweet expansion in your ribs. All right, so let's switch sides, everybody. You take the hands to your blocks, find your stability. So right away, I tone in through the low belly. My legs feel really solid under me. I pull the shoulders away from the ears. And then I'm going to lift the left heel and just slide back to the big toe, because that might be it. You might just lift an inch or a foot and hold it there. There's no reason to lift high unless you are able to do so with some steadiness, some relative ease. It's a hard pose, okay? So belly tones in. I want to move those ribs back into the middle space. I'm going to lift the leg. And I've got shoulders to wrists, ankle to hip, feeling this nice solid pose. Belly tones in, ribs tone in. Only if you want. Let go of that right hand, reach it back, find your breath. That's it. We got this, everybody, right? We got it. Woo! Yeehaw. Hand comes back to your block. The leg sets back down on the floor. Bend your knees. Hands come to knees. Come on up. And then just simple final one here. Take the legs wide. Bend your knees. A little bit of goddess pose. And again, if your hips are feeling unstable just because you bent over funny or something, wrap this strap around your hips and just hang out with it for an hour. You're sitting at your desk, you're whatever, you're going for your walk, whatever it is, and see how that feels for you. And then sit in your pose. Now, again, watch your knees, everybody. Notice the knees. I want you to press them out. There's a wall back here, and I'm pressing into that wall just gently. Big deep breath. Arms come up. Exhale, elbows come down. Tuck the belly in and breathe. Hands come to your thighs. Stand up. Take that strap out of your hips. I know that feels good. Bring it back to your ribs. Just last time. Tighten that up. Watch the buckle. Keep it in the middle. Woo, feel it, right? If you take a deep breath, if you expand out through those ribs, you should feel that thing pressing. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, goddess pose. Here's what I want you to feel. Are the front ribs reaching out? Like if you just dump that whole pelvis forward. If you have, I want you to take the buckle behind you. I know. Give it a little pull. Breathe. Hold that. Let go. Breathe. Goddess pose. Woo, press the knees against the imaginary wall. You don't have to go this wide. Nice of me to tell you that now. I feel like I really have a tail now. 5, 4, 3, 2, stand up. Heel toe in, everybody. Well done, well done. Loosen the strap and keep it around your middle. Just loosen it up a little bit. Take a deep breath. Good. Come on back to the front of your mat. Have one block near your side where you can get to it. And come on to a forward fold. In fact, sorry, come on back up because I thought, why not? Bring that strap back down to the hips and really get it low. Like get it as low as you can on the hips without them being on your legs. And it may or may not stay, so don't worry about it. Come into your forward fold, step back to down dog. And then lower your knees to the floor. Good. Take that strap down to your thighs. Upper thighs, tighten it up, okay? So they're roughly hips width apart, but you got some tension there. Woo. Take your block and place it second width between your feet. So you got the strap, you got the block, you got your feet around the block, hands to table pose, flip your toes under and lift up to down dog. We're not staying here. Sandwich that block between your feet and your ankles and come to plank. The block will probably lift and breathe. 5, 4, yep, feel the legs. 3, 2, 1. Let's do just 5 more because this is way too much fun to stop. 5, 4, squeeze your block. 3, 2, and 1. Lower your knees. That just came to me because that was just way too fun. All right, bring that strap back up to the low hips where we were before I got distracted by, ooh, what else? All right, here we go. Wrap that strap nice and tight. Now, for my knee folks, for everybody, first of all, take one block, stack that way, take your second block, high level on top of that. I hope you can see that. So one's down flat, the other one's up at its highest level. For my knee people, if you cannot do this, I want you to come to your belly and do locust pose or sphinx or cobra. Okay, so this is just back bend. This is camel. I want you to take those blocks between your ankles. Now, we know, right? This baby is not sturdy. We didn't glue it down, so just be mindful. Tighten that strap around the hips and feel like that solid feedback of the strap. Just look behind you and hold one strap or hold one part of the block if you can. Square the shoulder, see if you can hold the other side. Remember that it's loose, right? It's wobbly. I want you to press your hips forward into your strap. Pull the shoulders back. Do not drop your head. Keep your chin tucked, but pull the shoulders back. Ankles to block. Camel pose. Find your breath. Now, the hips pressing to the front of the strap is the key here, right? We don't want the hips to draw back. Find your breath here. Open up your chest. Reach the shoulders back. You can gaze at the shoulder without dropping the head. That's it. Deep breath. And then release. One last one. If you want to go to second level with your block, if nothing about that bothered you, go to second level. If it was just so, hands come to sacrum, right? So you decide, or you stay high block. One hand to block, other hand to block, press straight down, open the shoulders, lift and press the hips forward. Find your breath. And release. Oh, some of you can just sit back on that block. That'll feel kind of good for a moment. And then loosen your strap. Leave it on if you love it, but go ahead and loosen it and take it off. Holy moly. Keep it near you. And then in your best yogi way, make your way to your back. I know it's a funky transition here. So you got to move your blocks out of the way and then have a seat. Whew. Come off of those lovely knees. Give them a little love. And then come on down to your back. Let's check my time. Okay. All the way down. Oh, how does that feel? Like, and then since we started here, I just want you to feel those kind of lower set of ribs and take a really deep breath and then exhale and draw the belly in. Good. Just one more here. And exhale it. And then take your strap. You don't need the loop. So depending on how big your loop is right now, you might want to make it really small. You just need a lot of strap. Okay. So I tend to make my loop really small so I don't lose the loop, but I have as much of the strap as I need. And then you're going to take the strap around your left foot and take the left foot up to the ceiling. If your hamstrings are still feeling tight, leave your right leg bent. If it feels okay to you, go ahead and straighten that leg. Tone the belly, level out your hips. And then slide your hands down the strap until you can come to roughly cactus arms. Strap may or may not be long enough. Cactus arms with your arms. Your hands don't have to touch. Not about that. Okay. You're just externally rotated, and you can even lift your shoulders and kind of roll the shoulder blades down, and then just hold here. Hamstring stretch. You're going to leave the shape of your arms, you're externally rotated, but as you lower your leg, you're going to internally rotate the shoulders. And then you're going to pull on the strap to lift the leg. And then internal rotation of shoulders, external rotation back. Good. Lowering the leg, the palms come down. Lifting the leg, the palms go up. Good. Just one more here. Softening up the shoulders. And then release. Grab that strap way up high. Leg is straight. Slide your hands down the strap and reach the arms overhead. As you do that, right, the arms are going one way, palms are face in. The leg, the other leg, right leg is going the other way, or it's bent. Big deep breath. Pull the ribs in slightly. Feel how that lengthens the back body. Take a really deep breath here. And then slowly lower your leg. Oh, this is gonna feel good, right? So switch sides. Just put your foot in there. Put your right foot in there. Take the left foot out. Either bend your left leg or keep it straight. Walk the leg up so you're in a nice little hamstring stretch. Start here. Shoulders are down. Maybe pull the back shoulder blades down. And then slide the hands down the strap enough so that you come to some semblance of cactus arms. Feel the ribs soften in some. And then as you lower the legs, the arms go to internal rotation. As you lift the leg, it goes to external rotation. Borrowing this one from my friend Deb. Breathe. Good. Couple more, maybe 3 more, just slow, right? This is a nice exercise for that internal, external rotation of the shoulders. And even though a lot of our stuff was legs, you don't realize how much you do with the upper body as you're playing with the legs. All right, so last one here. Pause, maybe press those shoulders to the floor. Release, grab that strap up nice and high. And then slide the arms overhead, slide the hands down the strap, palms are face in. Soften the shoulders down, tone the ribs down. Find your breath, everybody. This almost feels like a nice kind of traction for me. Like it's like, oh, I could just hang out here for a while. Big deep breath. And then slowly let the leg lower as the arms lower. Release your strap completely. Set that strap aside, bend your knees. How are we doing on time? We're good. All right. So I'm going to do one more since we have the time. I want you to take that strap and bring it underneath your back so that it's right about where those ribs, where those low ribs were. Okay. So it's there. And if you were to pull on the strap, if you were to pull up on the strap, you can feel how it lifts that back and then press down. Keep the tension on the strap, but pull the ribs up and then press back down to the floor. Good. Just one more. Pull up and press down. And then shimmy the strap up just a little higher so it's up at the shoulder blades and draw the arms overhead. From here, so it's this kind of pull up and in of the shoulder blades, lift your hips off the floor. So a variation of bridge pose that draws the upper shoulders, the upper shoulder blades into the pose without overdoing the ribs. I hope that makes sense to you. So you can play here, you can widen, you can narrow, make sure you're not pressing too much into the head or the neck. Big deep breath. And then keep the tension on the strap, but lower down. And then release the strap. Now take the strap off and throw it away. We're done with the strap. We're done. Take your feet nice and wide on your mat. Take them outside the mat if you want. Take the arms to cactus pose and lower the knees to one side. No more strap for you. Ay, ay, ay. Big deep breath. Feel the stretch along the front of that one hip. Just breathe. And then straighten whichever direction, since I didn't say which way to go, whichever direction your knees are going, straighten that arm out to the side, out to that shoulder. And then take your other arm and reach it around and just stretch. So you're pretty much face planting down. Big stretch. And then let it open up again. Good. One more right here. Just circle the arm around so it reaches the other arm, your forehead to the floor, and then release. Good. Bring your knees back to center. Arms are cactus. Feet are wide. Go to the other side. And just pause. This is such a sweet little twist here. Make it yours. Watch the knees. And then straighten that arm that's in the same direction as the knees. Circle the arm around and come to your forehead. And then open it up and circle it again. And open it up. Good. Take the knees back to center, the feet wide, the arms are in cactus. And just a really simple, slow windshield wipers, just easy. And then knees to center, knees come to chest, cross one knee over the other, bring both knees to chest. Optionally here, you can walk the hands down and come to cow face legs. Holding on to feet, holding on to ankles. Don't have to go there though. You can just have the knees crossed. That's a nice stretch for the hip. If you're holding on to feet, let go, switch knees so the other knee is on top. Draw those knees to chest, everyone. And then again, optionally, cow face legs. You can hold feet, ankles, soft shoulders. And release the feet. Release the legs, both knees to chest. Straighten one leg. Stretch it out. Switch sides. Other knee to chest. Stretch it out. And then both legs straight. Finally, Shavasana. And as you move into your Shavasana, just kind of wiggle on your mat. Level out the hips, feel the ribs soften to the floor without pressing. Just feel them soften like they got longer away from the collarbones. And then let the hands come down to your sides. Let the legs go fully. Feel your breath. And breathe. And maybe here, as you start to sink into your Shavasana, you feel how the ribs are connected with the breath connected with the ribs. Expanding the front body on the inhale and releasing it on the exhale. Let the thoughts go. Let the jaw, the belly, the legs, let everything go. Allow yourself to sink down even deeper. All right, those of you who are ready, start to wiggle your toes and your fingers. Don't move too quickly out of Shavasana, as short as that was. Just allow your body to start to stretch and wiggle and move, and then slowly the knees come to your chest. And you roll the knees in and you stretch out your low back and you wiggle and you let the knees roll to one side or the other. And you curled there and you smile. And then slowly press up to your seated pose. And then bring your hands to your heart. As we explore the outward poses, we explore the inner mind, the inner heart. And I am so very grateful for all of you. Thank you. Have an awesome day. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Namaste.